Hey, this is David Hayter. You may know me as the screenwriter of films like X-Men, X-Men 2, and Watchmen, but you probably know me best as the voice of Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid. And you're listening to Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. Kept you waiting, huh?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I'm Mikhail Kasanova, and I got a very, very special guest, someone I am hyped to have on the show. It's truly an honor. The one, the only HipHopGamer, man. How you doing today, man? How you living?
HipHopGamer, no stranger to danger. #1 journalist. Quickly, I changed the game up. You already know what it is, baby. This is the #1 podcast. Hawaii in the building. Mikhail, that intro was fire. It's an honor to be here, bro. Honor, man. One love and God bless. Let's get it popping, son.
Oh, man. God bless, man. It's such an honor having you on the show, man. Like, yo, bro, like, let me give you the rundown right now. It's super surreal. Like, yo, I caught you like years ago. Like, I came across your content. I want to say back in 2012, 2013.
Oh, wow.
I was like, bro, content is fire. Content is straight fire. And it's just basically been like one of the most inspirational reasons for me to get into content. Cause I'm like, yo, someone looked like me that, you know, into gaming, into hip hop. I was like, man, cause I didn't see a lot of folks like that. And so, bro, super inspirational, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yo, bro, like I said, son, it's an honor, man. And it's funny you said like since like 2012. It's so funny because like the first video I ever made was in 2007. And one of the reasons why I first made my first video is because I was watching G4 Tech TV, right? And, I'm a big fan of Adam Sessler and stuff like that. And it got to the point where it started feeling like the corporations behind the scenes was taking over the voices of what we was watching. And, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to create. You know what I'm saying? That was you can complain all day, but if you complaining but ain't doing nothing about it, then you really ain't singing nothing. You know what I mean? Exactly. So I wanted to do something about it. So that's literally like one of the main reasons why I started making videos. And my first video I made was December 16th, 2007. That's the first time I ever made a video. And I was battling whether or not, because just like how you said, you don't see nobody like us in the industry. So you really didn't see it in 2007. Like, you know what I mean? Like that joint wasn't there. Like, so the thing is, before I ain't tell many people this, but before I made my very, very first video, I was literally like in the mirror, like practicing on like how I should be, considering I never seen that representation. So in my mind, I'm thinking that I gotta be a certain way to fit in to even have a shot at the reason why I wanted to start anyway. And then this is how you know God is so amazing and God is so real. My grandmother, she taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old. So I've been playing video games all my life. And then when I turned 14, I started making music because I, grew up on hip hop. So I wanted to create, hip hop music as well. And I did that since I was 14, hence the name HipHopGamer. So I grew up in this, right? And then when I was about to make my first video, dog, I'm literally in the mirror, like, hi, like my name is this and that. And I'm trying, like, really trying to fit into this world. Yeah. So then I was like, God was like, you are pretty much born and raised in the world of gaming. You know this more than anyone. Just be yourself and do what you've done since you was a kid. Like it was like literally God spoke to me, bro. And so I was like, yo, you know what it is? HipHopGamers, get it popping, because this is me. This is my energy. So I'm so happy that I did that. And to prove how how God shaped this for me. A couple of years ago, I was at Michael Pactor's party, during E3 in June, and there's a gentleman that came up to me, and they was like, "Yo, I know you don't know me, but I followed your career, and thank you for being you." And he was saying that because he tried to fit in to this world, and he used to work for IGN. He used to work for different outlets, but he said that now that independence is the way to go now, and it's not all about getting the job and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's hard for him to be him because he's been fake for so long. So it's hard for him to be him in his own space because now nobody believes the real him because he hid the real him to fit into these jobs in these other places. So that was just like a confirmation on me doing the right thing out the gate and just sticking with it, because I never had a job in the industry. I always did a partnership or something like that here and there, but everything I ever did, I did on my watch. And you know what I mean? And I did it the way I wanted to do it. That's why my whole goal was to be exclusive and be a one of one. So you got a lot of people in the industry, but there's only one hip hop gamer forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that was important to me.
Yeah, and dude, like your vibe and your energy is just 100% authentic. Like I remember I saw you. I ran into you, and you may not remember, but I ran into you back at E3 2019. I was like, yo, I see every other journalist, but that's hip hop right there. Like, bro, like the
thanks, man. The belt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know I had the belt on me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, man, the belt. Now I got the chain as well, and I got something else coming, but I can't talk about that yet. But wait till what? It's gonna be crazy,
bro. Like, so let's talk about it, man. Like, so from 2007 to now, like that journey, man. Like, what, like. How has that been, like, being on, like, one of the technically the original, one of the originals, the original in this space that's a content creator, like, representing, like, how has that been? Like, that's got to be a crazy ride.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride because it's one of those situations. It's so many ways to go about it. So I'll give you this first. My first year going to E3. Shout out to my boy Torrance Davis, because he's the one who discovered me and gave me an opportunity to put my content on his website, which was called thebigbag.com at the time. And my boy Torrance, he's been in the industry since 1995, going to E3 and doing everything like that. So he's an OG. He's my OG. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's an OG. And the thing is, he gave me the opportunity to go to E3. When I went to E3 my first year, this is my first taste of being on the other side, like not just as a fan, but seeing the business in the industry for the first time. So it was a real lesson that I learned that first year. And the reason why is because on the outside looking in, especially when you're passionate about gaming, you would think that the world of gaming is all love and everybody's just happy to see each other and play games and build, and everything is like, kumbaya or something like that, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. You think that energy is there, and it's not. It's really not, yo. Like the first year that I went to E3, there was only a few people I could probably like count on my hand that really, really embraced me, helped me, and like really taught me some stuff. And besides Torrance Davis, Michael Pactor, my boy Scott Fry, my boy Justin Burbaum. There's been like a select few people that really show love and embrace me. Aaron Greenberg from Microsoft, he was incredible. But the sad part was, so you grow up on. I grew up on IGN and all these other outlets and stuff like that. And when I went to IGN's, it wasn't a booth on the show floor, but it was their business booth or something like that, that was aside from the show floor. And when I went there and I saw some people working, so I'm excited. Like, I'm going crazy. This is back when I had the John Cena belt and John Cena's name was on it. I didn't even have my own joint. Like, that's how, long ago it was. And then I guess it was like a little window that they had, and I knocked on it, and I just said, "Hey, everybody, my name," just introducing myself, and literally the energy was like, "Yo, what are you doing here? Who are you?" Like it was like the energy. I was like, "Okay, sorry," like, and then I left, but I was like, "Okay, that was weird." All right, so whatever. I'm at E3. I ain't gonna let that ruin my joy. But that struck me for a chord because they looked at me immediately like I don't belong here.
Yeah.
And I was like, just dang, like, and they kind of like just wrote me off. Like the energy was real bad, man. And then that was the first incident that like I was like, okay. And then what really like started to bug me out is a lot of people that I saw, like people would just give me this weird look, and like some people would kind of like just shy away from me, like, and then there was a gentleman, I don't even remember his name because it's so far back and I haven't seen him in the industry, but he told me something that was real powerful, and he was like, "Yo, look around you and look at you." Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I know who you are because he saw some videos and stuff like that before. So he's like, "I know who you are, but like this industry ain't what you think, and that's why these things is happening. But like, just keep doing you, but just be careful."
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to, make friends and build with people and stuff like that. And not everybody was welcoming, and what I learned was, the GameSpot, IGN, Kotaku, a lot of these websites, they wasn't even allowed to like talk to each other. Like if certain employees was caught talking to other employees, that could mean your job. You could get fired for that. It was very, very cutthroat. The energy was real dirty.
Yeah.
It was real dirty behind the scenes, yo. So I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on. So then when I bumped into certain people like the Michael Pactors and the Scott Fries and certain people in the industry, they was like, "Yo, bro, you're a breath of fresh air." You know what I'm saying? Because your energy is what the industry needs and what has been missing. But the problem is my face isn't the face that they want to put out and promote and push like that. So my energy and everything is great as long as I'm not the face of everything. And that right there, it goes back to kind of like when you hear people talk about you wish people appreciated Black people like how they appreciate Black culture. If they appreciated Black people like they appreciated Black culture, we wouldn't see a lot of the stuff that we see today. So it was one of those situations. So my first year hit me hard. So then after that first year, I just started being more vocal about all the things that I seen and witnessed and the things that I wanted to change. So I just started calling everybody out. After that, I was like, "Yo, nope, they lying. Nope, this ain't, no, that's not the truth. I'm telling you like this." And then people really started gravitating to me because I was saying things that you would never hear in the industry. And then after a while, the bigger I started getting, the more the energy started to change in the industry because I made it cool to show love in the industry in every area. I made it cool to be a kid again, so to speak, in the industry. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. One of the problems in the industry was that if you showing too much love or you're too excited, then you're not professional. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's like, now, me, like if everywhere I go, I'm there. Like, you know what I'm saying? The energy, I'm like, I'm there. But most people is all, reserved. Hi, my name is, and we're here today at, you know what I'm saying? So so I killed all of that. Right? I was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. When I'm around, we ain't doing that." Like, you know what I'm saying? That joint is whack. It's fake, man. You can see right through it. That's not how you are when you at the crib chilling, playing games. Like that's the energy that we want to see. So to come around full circle, like everything that I brought to the industry, when you look at Twitch now, when you look at the energy and what people talk about, people being more open, people being more independent, people being more unapologetically them. That's me, bro. So to me, when I see that, I thank God for my grandma, and I thank God for allowing me to be myself. Because it was only God. Like, I don't take the credit. I give all the credit to God. You know what I'm saying? And through God, I was able to be great because of what he gave me. Because he gave me my grandmother that gave me my start in gaming, obviously. But through God, God gave me that strength to stand alone. And me doing that literally changed the industry. Now, they most likely, they're never going to give me that credit in the industry, and that's fine. But people like yourself and others, and even more so now, people starting to learn where all of that came from.
Yeah, definitely. No, and one of the things, like, you know, with me learning, like, getting closer to the industry, like 2018, 2019, like when I first got the opportunity to go to E3, I was flown out there by PDP. And dude, what you were saying about how, like, folks don't talk, I saw a lot of that at E3. I was like,
yeah.
whoa. And, like, the whole idea of how the gaming industry is, like, a lot of people think it's, like you're saying, like, you know, we're all playing games, having, you know, good time. Like, it's really not like that. And for a point there, like, I kind of feel like I got a little disillusioned because I'm like, man, a lot of folks ain't, it ain't what it seemed. But like I said, like, seeing how you are, just like seeing how you are on camera and how you are, like, at events and whatnot, you the same person, that same energy. And I'm like, man, that's inspiring to me, right? To keep that same energy across the board. And dude, I thank you for that. I thank you for setting that example. Like, I'm gonna give you the credit. I know.
Yo, much love, bro.
You know?
I appreciate that, man. Thanks, man. But like I said, that's one of the biggest problems in the industry. Like, another major thing that happened in the industry, right? So, N4G, N4G.com, right? I got discovered a lot on that site because I was the #1 face on that site for years. And excuse me, and you got to think about it. Here's what people don't understand, man. And this is the game right here. I'm gonna put you on. So, I'm a big fan of Stephen A. Smith, right? You know, on ESPN. Now, you have to think about this for a second. If you worked for ESPN, just by default, because of your job, you're going to be seen by millions of people every day because you work for a platform that's fully funded in a way where they can market their personalities like that, and they benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? 24/7. ESPN, that's a sports network. So when you look at the gaming industry, right, and you look at the certain websites that's the face of the industry, if you look at IGN, these companies is fully funded, millions and millions and millions of dollars backing them. Then if you look at, you know, GameSpot, CBS Interactive, that ties into Viacom. Like, you have these millions and millions of dollars invested into these people that got jobs on these big platforms. So they get access to everything, not even just because of their name, but because of the job that they work at. Remember, like, IGN as a brand is more valuable than anybody that works there. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally what it is. So a lot of us that was coming up, we ain't had that. You know what I'm saying? So N4G was that place that had that type of funding and backing that gave everybody an opportunity to put their content out. And if you put your content out and people rock with it, then you see the degrees go up and you become like the face of the site. So I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. I wasn't the only person that was a black person that put up content on N4G, but I was the #1 face. Like, you see my face all over N4G, like every week, every Sunday when the show came out, all of that consistently. And then it started to be even more consistent because I was doing it on a daily basis, because now it went from the Hip Hop Gamer show every week to so much content coming in because I'm building up my name that it was on a regular basis. I got crazy content putting it out there and it's blowing up on N4G all day, every day. So this is the first time that somebody that's a black journalist was finally got the opportunity to benefit off of a big budget support system on the back end on a website and I became the face of it for years. Like it was like I'm the first person to do this and the last person to do it. And this is back then. Now, why do you think that is? There's plenty of other journalists that could put their stuff up there and do things like that. But here's what started to happen. So articles and stories that I did, they would start to remove it. And people like Kotaku that would cover a story, or IGN that would cover a story that came from me, they wouldn't give me the credit on it, but they would take the credit and their articles would stay there. And they would remove mine. Yes. And the thing is, you have to understand the way N4G works. You got certain people behind the scenes that can control the narrative and what's happening. And if you debate it or refute it and try to prove yourself, it doesn't matter because they hold the right to judge however they want to judge because it's their site, their policy, so they can do whatever they want to do. And you gotta think about it. It's just like in court. If you don't have enough money or you don't got the right lawyer to be able to fight a case, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about who you know and how much money you got to fight. So all I had was my talent. All I had was the truth, and it didn't matter. And I got railroaded. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, I know for a fact that, and ever since then, even up to now, I still never, ever, ever had the opportunity to have my brand supported by like millions and millions of dollars in terms of being on a platform that was supported with that level of marketing and reach and stuff like that. So my thing is, when that happened and I saw that I was the last person to have that spot, it just reconfirmed what I already knew, that we're great enough to be a part of it, but they don't want us to be the face of it, like the dominant face. So now when you see so many people complaining and talking and everything like this, see, now it's cool to support that black face and all this other stuff, because that's why they have all this diversity and inclusion going on. So it took for George Floyd and everybody else to die just to get these conversations and these positions and this money and all this other stuff. And what's so crazy about it now is that on the back end, what a lot of people don't know is that certain companies, like there's a few companies that's really about the cause genuinely, but like 85% to 90% of the companies that you see doing this stuff is all fake. And the reason why it's all fake is because there's a certain budget that companies are allocated every year, and that budget sometimes it grows and sometimes it doesn't. But right now, if you don't have any type of initiatives that speak to black culture and black businesses and black anything, then you won't get the normal money that you won't get the money that you would normally get unless you have that in place. So that's why collectively across the board with so many companies in gaming or outside of gaming have these black initiatives, is because if they don't get it, they won't receive certain monies in their business, which will affect their bottom line at the end of the year. So a lot of the stuff that you see is not genuine at all. And I know this because I've been on the front end and I've been on the back end for a long time. So I know how the industry works. I know I know what I'm doing. That's why when I tell people, when I show so much love to Logitech and everything like that, because those are my partners, but me and Logitech, we've been doing stuff like this since like 2017 when I became a partner with them. We've been rocking together before it was the high school cool thing to do with all these other companies. So yeah, man, it's real. So that's why when people say what they say, I listen and observe, because I can tell you easily what the truth is and what's not, because I lived it in the most realest way before everybody came on board.
Yeah, I feel like this is like similar to the talk, because Red Infamy, she was on before, and
that's my queen right there, B.
Right. Yeah, like we touched on that before, and I know I got a lot of feedback. People were kind of curious about that. And it's like that's kind of how this industry is. Like we saw it last year, when the whole George Floyd situation happened, Breonna Taylor. You had a lot of these companies that came out. They're like, oh, we want to support, and like for all of a week. and it's like gone.
Yeah.
Or all of a month, and then it's gone. I've had like companies in the game industry, like they reached out. Oh, I wanted to only reach out to you because you're a Black creator, and I want to help you. This, and this, and I'm like, okay, cool. What content do I make that you like? Oh, we didn't look at any of your content, but you're a Black creator. Like, it's like a check mark,
Yeah, it's a bucket list. Yeah, it's a bucket list. But see, here's my thing. Like, a lot of people that's doing certain things now and stuff like that, like, I've been did these things. Like, see, like, I'm happy that I'm seeing more, Black people get involved, and especially Black women getting recognized. I love it. I love seeing it. But it is disheartening, because I know why I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a lot more of it, not because it's genuine, and that's what bothers me. And what I want people to understand is that don't fall into the trap of thinking that they're doing this to genuinely help you. You understand what I'm saying? There are some companies out there that is doing it to genuinely help you, and that's amazing. But for the most part, they're not, because helping you helps them. Yeah. So even though you're benefiting for the moment. So my thing is, it's kind of like what Jay-Z said. I'm overcharging for what they did to the Code Crush. So to me, the way I'm going about it right now is anything that I do with everybody, not only do you have to pay up a certain way, but I want in on the company. Like, I want equity. I want everything. I want ownership in certain areas, some percentages here. Like, this is what I want, because for y'all to benefit off of generations of work and stuff like that I do and have done or whatever, you got to pay for that long term. We got to have like establishments, and we got to have like other things. So yeah, man, that's what it is, and that's what I'm fighting for. You know what I mean? So I love what I do always. My energy always crazy. At the same time, I understand what's going on. So I just try. I don't get mad at I don't want to get twisted. I don't get mad at these things. I look at them as opportunities to teach and educate, because you can't fault somebody based on their lack of knowledge of things if they don't come from that and they don't understand that. So, and a lot of times people is just trying to protect their own jobs because they got families to feed. So they just following a machine that's telling them to do something. So, it's not about getting mad or being so upset. It's about, look, what's right and what's wrong. So how can we get to a point where collectively we could do right, and you don't have to worry about losing something at the expense of doing what's right? How do we figure that out so everybody can feel comfortable about helping one another genuinely, so that everybody could be able to eat? It's a big pie. Like, what I'm saying? It's a big piece of cake in the game industry. We all can share in this. And that's the part that I'm trying to get to, where everybody understands that it's enough for everyone, and you give everybody their slice, and they do it as they please, but at least everything is fair. And that's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, and that's like, that's one of the biggest things I've learned with being in this industry is there's no lack. Like, there's enough for everybody. Yeah. And it's like, wow, like, especially, on a separate topic, like dealing with like content creators that are trying to get into the space, or ones that are in this space. Like, I've seen a lot of shady stuff, and this idea that we got to be crabs in a bucket. And I'm over here like looking at the back end of it and the front end. I'm like, yo, that's enough for everybody. Why are we wilding like this? So,
yep. So that's where I'm at. I'll tell you one thing. One thing that I feel on the back end that will like change the whole industry. Like, let's say Twitch decided that everybody that streams on Twitch will get a dividend of the viewership that Twitch generates financially. So I'll give you an example, right? Let's say this month Twitch generated like over 2 billion, hours or something logged in from all the streamers and everything like that, right? So whether you're a small channel or you're a big channel or whatever, you break it down into a dividend. So where like everybody that's on Twitch get a percentage of Twitch in terms of a payback. So let's say the moment you join Twitch, and at minimum you're logging in like at least 50 hours a month, at minimum, then just by you logging in and playing games, I don't care if you got 1 view or 1,000 viewers, whatever, it don't matter. Just by you being a part of Twitch, you get a check. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying that is because think about it like this, right? If you get a job at Transit, or you get a job at Con Edison, you get a job somewhere, you get paid because you work there. It doesn't matter what position you're in. You have a job to do and you get paid because your contribution helps the company overall.
Right.
So the way I look at it is when it comes to Twitch, like you got to build your stream up and do all this other stuff. But I really feel that people should get, like, if you decide to come to Twitch and use the platform, you should be paid like a dividend just for using the platform, aside from donations and subscriptions and building all this other stuff. Just being on a platform, you should be compensated for, because your usage of the platform brings value to the entire establishment. No. And because that business model doesn't exist, nobody's going to think to ask for it because this is the norm. And I feel like we should change that normal. It's just like if you go to a job and you get hired and you get paid a salary, even though Twitch isn't one of those people that's like hiring you to be on their platform, you're willingly going to it. They also have the right to kick you off and ban you if your contribution isn't healthy to the organization. They can kick you out and ban you. So if that's the case, then you understand the value of having these people in your establishment. I think there should be a dividend kickback. You know what I mean? And that right there will set a precedence on Facebook, on YouTube, and everywhere else you can stream. You know what I mean? To make it better for everybody that comes in and be involved. So, there's a lot of things that can make the industry better, and eventually I think we'll get there.
And this is like this conversation I actually was having with Black Oni and Uriah the other week. Like, we were actually talking about this, and it's like it literally should be. It should be a thing. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people are scared to ask for it, but it's like when you're putting these hours in grinding, like just to make affiliate, just to make partner, just to get donations and ad revenue, you're putting in this work, you should be compensated beyond that bare minimum percentage of a percentage that they're going to give you. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I feel like I'm all about disruption. You know what I'm saying? My entire existence since day one in the industry was about this disruption. Because I came in the industry on this level because I didn't like what I was seeing. Period. You know what I mean? So everything is about disruption. So anytime I could disrupt anything, I'm going to do it because right is right, wrong is wrong. And also, you want to hold people accountable. You know what I'm saying? And the best way to keep people honest is to call them out and challenge them and ask them questions under fire. And see, because if you get too many stumbles of words and and this and that, and they can't really answer stuff, you already know the answer because they can't even answer the simple question. So you know the answer. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm ready to go. So like, I'm just excited about everything that's that's starting to happen. Things that I'm working on, things that I'm a part of. Like I said, I have a gaming and guidance program and that's another thing too, in terms of me being a journalist, I'm so much more than that buzzword, influencer, stuff like that. Because like what I do now is, a character in different video games. I make songs for different video games. I have a gaming and guidance program with which is really, really hitting the community hard in a major way. And I got 4 different layers to my gaming and guidance program, touching different communities, helping a lot of people with the power of gaming and providing guidance in just your everyday life. That right there is fire. Then also doing a lot of consulting with a lot of different businesses on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Working with different people, working with new technologies. I got a lot going on. So one of the things I encourage people to do is to generate more value within yourself so people can see you in more than just one light. Because like if you're a streamer, they only see you as a streamer and they only going to use you as a streamer, and that's it. And if they see you as somebody that only does animation for a video game, then you're only going to be used for that. So in my situation, I wanted to be someone that no matter what's going on in the industry, I can be a part of it and I can dominate in it. I don't care what it is. Like I have something of value to offer to every area of the industry beyond just gaming, but just pure entertainment, period. So once I got to that point, I could fit in anywhere, but I could also, change the energy that's going on in these areas, in these places. And I could also set the tone and I could also set the trend. So yeah, man, that's what I'm all about, bro. Hip hop gamer, #1, son. All day.
I feel it, man. I feel it. Yo, and that makes me want to ask you about like marketing and branding. Like you basically, bro, you've been educating us since we hit record. So how pivotal? And I like to ask this question to my guests because I feel like a lot of content creators and streamers and people trying to hop into this industry, and even some who are already in it don't get it. But how pivotal is having a business plan, marketing, and branding if you're a creator?
Well, it's very pivotal because, so I'll give you an example. I love creating analogies. So, if you look at 50 Cent, right? Shout out to 50. Love 50 Cent, man. He when he signed his deal with Eminem and Dr. Dre, he told them that I want to be an equal. He didn't just want to be another artist signed to a label and make some music and that's it. He wanted to be an equal. He wanted to be a CEO. He wanted to have what they had. You understand what I'm saying? And he was willing to put in the work to do so. And obviously we see the results because he was given a shot and he did it. So what I wanted to do, I started looking at the industry different after a while. So, I had plenty of conversations with everybody from investors, people that ran websites, people that invested in different companies to generate a different level of wealth, just educating myself with the other opportunities in the gaming industry that people, you never hear them talk about. So for example, we talk about games all day, but we never really talk about, like, you could play a video game, but growing up, we never really paid attention to the credits. Yeah. At the end of the game, you know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of names scrolling up that we just never looked at, never paid attention to. We were just happy that we beat the game. Yeah. So I started paying attention to the credits in the game. I started paying attention. Like, for example, a lot of these voice actors, they're tied to different agencies. And a lot of these agencies, they work in Hollywood. And in Hollywood, they have this. Like, I started learning everything. And that was a big game changer to me because it made me realize that I needed these other things that I didn't even realize I needed if I wanted to not just only grow, but for people to take me serious. There's certain keys to the game that if you don't got this, it automatically labels you. It automatically puts you out of the conversation because if you don't even have the bare minimum, we can't even have the conversation. It's a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody coming to you that want to be a podcaster, but they never studied anything. They never did anything to show you that they want to do this, but yet they're asking you for your time. You're not worth my time because you didn't show me why you worth my time.
How'd you know? So, that'd be happening all the
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
So it's like you're not even doing the bare minimum to show me that I'm worth that you're worth the time that I'm gonna give you right now. So I was trying to do things, but I wasn't in position to be worth their time. So I had to understand their language and what makes them excited and what makes them, what's that thing that makes them tick. So that's when I started learning the entire industry as a whole. So I want to give a big shout out to my homegirl, Kim. So Kim, she put me on to the movie industry and stuff like that, because in the movie industry, they was trying to look for gamers to help push their movies. So that's when I started being able to do interviews with actors and doing interviews and all this other stuff. And then now I'm learning the movie industry and more entertainment. And I'm like, oh, I can utilize this and leverage this in the gaming world. Oh, man. It started being crazy. So then I started doing movie interviews. And this is before Hot97. This is before, this is all HipHopGamer. You know what I'm saying? I was doing these things, breaking these barriers. So, and because remember, the only time you would see some sort of gamer interview, you know, a celebrity on that level or actor on that level and stuff like that, they had to, they either had a job at MTV or they had a job at here. You ain't see no independents doing that on their own. You understand what I'm saying? So when I started doing that, I was like, oh, I started learning more of the business. And my homegirl Kim, she was the one that educated me on having your brand deck. You know what I'm saying? Having this media kit, having all these things. And even before then, when I was just rapping, because they used to call me Jackal. Before HipHopGamer and everything, they used to call me Jackal because I was just wholeheartedly into gangster rap, hardcore. That was a past life. That was different. I was a different type of person then. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in East New York, Brooklyn. That should give you a hint. So things was different there for me. So even back then, I had managers and they was putting certain things together and teaching me about copyrights and stuff like that. So I started to bring these little things with me along the ride in the gaming world. And the more I started to learn these things, I understand how pivotal it was, because having that business plan and having these things, now you're speaking the language of people that'll give you the time of day to work with you and help you out on another level, on another scale. You understand what I'm saying? And because of my knowledge in the space, I could go to the Board of Education. I could walk into any room and be powerful and give value to it. And that right there was a game changer for me. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's different now, bro. It's different. So it's very important. It's very pivotal. And don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't know, look, I know what I'm great at and I know what I'm garbage at. Whatever I'm not good at, I got people that take care of that for me. Period. So I can move as a strong machine instead of having weaknesses in my armor. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I encourage everybody, whatever you don't got, whatever you're missing out on, get with some people that you feel you trust and got genuine love for, that got genuine love for you. And allow them, let them help you. And y'all move together as a unit and get it popping.
Yeah.
Word. You know what I'm saying? It will definitely change your entire career path, because like you could be into gaming and get so much money from different areas outside of gaming. Like, you know what I mean? Or you can start working with companies within gaming that normally wouldn't even look your direction because you have other value besides what a streamer has. Like, you know what I mean? So it's, yeah, man, start digging deep into what makes you and find that uniqueness so you can provide some sort of value to companies in a big way so that you can be taken care of in a good way too.
It makes me think about how a lot of creators and streamers, they get into this mindset. And not saying that everyone is like this, but like a lot of people are like this in the sense of, oh, I'm a streamer, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster, like just putting themselves in this box, not realizing that, there's so much more. If you want longevity in this field of being a creator, you got to be able to have your hand in a lot of different areas and always be learning. Like you never get complacent. And it's one thing. I was at where was I at last year? Not last year. No, actually it was last year. I was speaking at University of Hawaii because they invited me over to talk about like it's blew me away because I never thought I'd had that opportunity. But they asked me about, speaking to the students about content creating and YouTube. And, a lot of kids are saying they want to be a YouTuber. They want to do this. They want to do that for the rest of their life. And I'm like, okay, cool. Here's the thing. What if YouTube goes away? What if Twitch goes away? If who you are is so centered in I'm a Twitch streamer, I'm a YouTuber, and that goes away, then what do you got? You got to be able to have a skill set and a drive to be able to pivot at a moment's notice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like one of the things, just to capitalize on what you just said, like find your own like identity within all these mediums that you work with. So it's like me, you know, I don't consider myself a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or none like that. I'm a hip hop gamer. Like, you know what I'm saying? My name is my value, not just the platform I'm on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, when I say hip hop gamer, Hot97, LogitechG, like I'm shouting myself out in a way where when you hear hip hop gamer or you hear Hot97 or you hear Logitech I'm making myself an equal. I don't do it where I'm just somebody that work at Hot97 and I'm just somebody that work at Logitech. Nah, like Logitech is Logitech, Hot97 is Hot97, hip hop gamer is hip hop gamer, and we all collectively work together. You know what I'm saying? So my main thing is with Twitch or without Twitch, hip hop gamer is hip hop gamer. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like as long as you brand yourself as an equal to the very thing that you're a part of, not above or below, but an equal as to what you're a part of, then you could move alongside it, you can move with it, and you can move without it. As opposed to everything that makes me me depends on what this brand do. Because now you put everything in their hands and you have no control for yourself because you didn't create that control in terms of creating value to have control. It's the simple thing. You pay the cost to be the boss. You got to create a certain level of value so you can have a certain level of control in what you do. You know what I mean? Like in your name. Like, and that's another thing, trademark your name. You know what I mean? My name is trademarked like globally. So it's like I made sure that who I am can stand alone and along with people. Because with you or without you, I'm still gonna, you know, thrive. So you want to position yourself that way because, for example, if you look at a lot of articles, right, before they say certain people's name, they'll say Twitch streamer such and such and such and such and such. They don't just say the name. They'll just say Twitch streamer this. So you're labeled as somebody that's under Twitch instead of having your own name. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at like even a lot of articles that's done on me, it'll say hip hop gamer such and such, or it'll say Hot97's Hot97's hip hop gamer such and such, or whatever, or they'll say they'll say this one of the top so-and-so's hip hop gamer that, you know, so you got to look at how things is presented because the way you present yourself is how people is going to know how to write about you, how they going to know how to introduce you and stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing, you know what I mean? It's like I do it all the time to teach people how to address me. Every time you see me do any video, yo, what's up? It's the one and only hip hop gamer. Like it starts with me first, then everything else comes after. You know what I mean? So there's a reason why I do that, bro. So yeah,
definitely, man, definitely. Yo, man, I want to ask, like, how wild was it? I know a couple weeks back you had the Miz on your show, bro. The fact, like, how wild is that? Like working with celebrities. I know. Like, I was over here like, yo, that's.
Thanks, man. So yeah, you know, so funny. So I had the Miz on the show. Miz is great, man. We had a great conversation, and that's another thing too. Like, I give you an example of what I mean by value, right? I'm gonna just give you some game right now. So you have a lot of companies that will spend like $100,000, $200,000, right, to get a drop from a celebrity to promote their product or something like that, right? So through me, because of who I am in media, the access that they would pay for, I would get for free because it's a part of the budget that's already been allocated to generate press for the Miz or somebody like that because they got a new show that they're doing that needs attention. So while I have the opportunity to spend a good 10, 15 minutes with certain people, I can easily be like, yo, before we get out of here, can you get a shout out to such and such? And of course they'll do it because I just pushed and promoted and helped something that they're doing. So they'll give a shout out to this. So the 200,000 that certain companies would invest to try to even do a deal like this, I can easily be like, yo, hook me up with 10 G's and I'll get it done for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would make bread. They would save money. And in the process of that, I'm building a relationship because the relationship is more valuable than that check in that moment, because the relationship will keep like certain checks coming and opportunities coming. You know what I mean? And sometimes it could be far in between, and sometimes it could be, you know, back to back. You know, a lot of things happen. So the thing is, these is just opportunities that you're creating simply using you and your relationships. That's why you got to build more value within yourself. But like I was saying, Marvel's Avengers, that game came out. That game was getting praise. It did a lot of people was not praising it. So it was like a mixed bag. So I played Marvel's Avengers and had The Miz as a special guest on my show for the stream of Marvel's Avengers. I showed that to Square Enix. Like, yo, Square, yo, I got, you know, The Miz on Marvel, blah, blah, blah. Oh, word, this is amazing. Blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? Like, taking it to the next level. And then with The Miz, we had such a great interview, and he even said it at the end of the interview that, yo, this is a great interview. Your energy is awesome, and this and that. And we had a great time. It was amazing. But that's The Miz. I also had John Cena on the show. I had RZA on the show. I had Scarlett Johansson, Tyler Perry. I just had my man Manuel, who's the owner of Black Sands Entertainment. So I have everybody from all walks of life. I'm a big fan of The Office, and I had Oscar, the dude that does the State Farm commercials and stuff. I had him on the show recently. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, I do this, like, you know. So at the end of the day, and then when I'm talking to certain brands and stuff like that, I can show them how these types of people rock with me. You know what I mean? Like John Krasinski, you know, I love, you know, Jim Howard from The Office and stuff like that. Like I have a relationship with him and his team. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could like literally be like, reach out and be like, yo, like, is John free? Like, I want to do something, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, because I don't really talk about it like that. Like, I just put out a picture of, because I watch Scrubs. I love the TV show Scrubs. So John C. McGinley, that's my guy. Like, we did 2 interviews together before, but that's my guy, and he remembered me from the first one. So these are people that I got access. These are people that I got access to, and that's another thing. When people be like, "Yo, you like know these people?" and I'm like, I have access to them. I don't talk to them every day like it's personal, but when we do speak, it's all love. That's hip hop right there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about in terms of you know, expanding your value and things like that. You got to think, you know, beyond what the industry tries to label you to be, because you got to go out there and fight for your own value, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is keeping it real.
All right. Being respectful of your time, we got a few questions left before we wrap it up. But
all right.
Yo, so okay. So I hear this a lot from I hear this a lot. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. I've seen a lot of Twitter threads about this, and I've seen some streams where people are talking about that it's too late to be a content creator and make a living off of this. I think it's BS, because I think this is one of the greatest times to do it.
In terms of it being too late for content, or as that time has passed, now he's lying. Nah, that's not true. That's not true. Honestly, I think people that say that it's too late, I think they saying that because I think that's a reflection of themselves. I think that they feel like they hit their ceiling. So because they hit their ceiling, they feel like they can't do more. They're going to put that energy on everybody else saying that they can't do it because it's a reflection of what they can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest lie. I'm living proof that that's a lie. You got to be kidding me. I'm living proof that that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always looking for new ways to do things. Yo, the next stuff that I'm doing that I'm already a part of, oh please, man, there's always ways to constantly recreate yourself at the same time, keeping the very same thing that people loved you for and continuously growing so that new people that encounter you can love you for the same things that other people love you for, but also you growing in value so you can give them something new to love you for more as you progress. So listen, let me explain something to you, man.
Okay.
I'll just keep it real, bro. I done seen so many people come and go, and I seen very few stay. So at the end of the day, it's all about what you want and what you're willing to do for what you want and what you're not willing to do for what you want. You understand what I'm saying? I'll say that again. It's what you're willing to do for what you want and what you're willing not to do, for what you want. You got to understand this. I have a keynote that I do now. It's like a TED Talk, and I just did this at Pocket Gamer for the UK. Yeah. And I have my own keynote, right? And the title of the keynote is called Be Exclusive. So that relates to a quote I created called Character is Your Currency. I'll say it again. Character is your currency. Who you are is the value of what you do, and everything that comes along with it is a byproduct of the value that you have for yourself and the genuine energy that you give to others to try to make things better in your world and in theirs in terms of what you put out. So you can have a lot of money and do a lot of things, and that's cool. But if people genuinely don't rock with you because you're not a good, you don't have good energy around you, you're not a good dude, you're not a good girl, like whatever it is, you know what? I don't need that. I don't even want your money. Like, you stay over there because I don't want to be around your energy. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nothing like that bringing me down in my life. I don't need that. So who you are, your character, man, love, respect, care, you know what I'm saying? Like empathy, like these qualities will take you far, far, and these qualities will make you forever. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's very true. No matter what happens with people that you interact with, people is not going to forget the way you made them feel. They're not going to forget the way you made them feel. Like the moment they hear your name, and you could be a changed person. It could be like 10 years ago, this person did something to you, and they could be a changed person, but they're never going to forget what happened 10 years ago because the way you made them feel. And the only way that's going to change is if they get a chance to know the new you, like, or whatever. But at the end of the day, when people say that time has passed for content creators to do this, so there's not enough opportunities to this and this, that's a lie. Because too many people is waiting for somebody else to create an opportunity that they can be a part of instead of creating the opportunity yourself and have people be drawn to you. Everything I do, I bring people to me. That's one of the main things. Yo, I worked in the mailroom from 2000 to 2014, right? And I worked with every single record label, Universal, Def Jam, Rockefeller, Dipset, all of that, Murder Inc., all of that, right? So I've been around all these people for years. I've seen walking past chilling and Jay-Z and Damon Dash just sitting there chilling, or Ja Rule over here and 50 over there, like, well, not in the same vicinity, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But, I've been around all this energy. I've seen these things. And one of the things that I told myself, and this is when I was like in 2003, I think, I was like, I seen Jay-Z walk in the room. And when Jay-Z walked in the room, everything got quiet. It was like, it's Jay-Z. Like, things changed when he walked in the room. So my mind's like, that I would love that, to know what that feel like, to walk in a room and things just change and things just stop and everybody just look at you like, wow, like, because of who you are, what you've done and the impact that you had on their life or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get to that point, because that right there, you can't teach that. That is value beyond value. You can't even put a dollar sign on that. That's just, some people got it, some people don't. So I was like, how can, even in the game industry, I'm like, how can I generate that type of energy? So when I walk into the room and I got the belt, I got the chain, my energy, I'm like, yo, what up? As soon as I walk in, my reputation precedes me. And when people see me, if you don't know me, you're going to want to know me. And if you don't know me, you're going to feel like you should know me. You know what I mean? Like, that's that I walk with that. You know what I mean? So no matter where I go, when I walk into a room, I take it over. And it's not even intentional. I don't walk in there to do so. But when I walk into a room and the energy just come my way, I just start talking and everybody's this, and then it just happens. You know what I'm saying? I said that in one of the songs I got called Champion. One of the bars I said is I don't gotta I don't gotta try so hard, it just happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta try to be the best, it just happens. And that it hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hits hard. So anybody that's telling you that that wave is over or something like that, they lying, and they're just they just at a point where they think they hit their own ceiling, so they trying to put their energy out there. So I wouldn't listen to them if I was like whoever's listening to this podcast. I wouldn't listen to them. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're talking about when it comes to that.
All right. Last two questions I got, man. I want to talk about the belt. The belt,
Yeah.
I seen it in person. The belt is nice. Yo, I seen it. Yo, it's fire.
Facts, man. That joint is legendary in the industry, bro.
Right, yo. So, what made you come up with that concept, man? Because that's just brilliant. It's just straight brilliant.
Thanks, man. So, my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? She always called me her champion. And on top of that, I love wrestling. I love boxing. But anything that I do, I want to be the best at. You know what I'm saying? I want to be number one. Like, I'm like that. I'm a competitive person. You know what I'm saying? It's in my nature. I'm a hip hop head. But I'm not toxic with the competitive nature. Like, you got some people that's competitive, like on a whole nother level. Like, I'm not like that. Like, it's friendly competition, but at the end of the day, I want to be the best. And if there's ever a time where we got to compete or battle or whatever, I'm coming for the juggler. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's it. I want to win, and that's it. Like, period. So the whole idea of the belt was I wanted to out the gate since day one. I wanted people to know that whenever I go, you're gonna get the best. Mm-hmm. Wherever I'm a part of, it will be the best. Like, I'm a champion. Like, that was it. It was something that I wanted to make significant. And then another tie-in to that was because the lack of representation was so evident in the gaming world. I wanted to do something to where, like, when you do the study and you do the research, you'll see that 67% of all money that's spent in the gaming industry is by minorities. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because gaming is one of the best escapes that you can get. And most people, especially from the hood and just in low income areas and just dealing with like hardships, they need those escapes more than ever. Yeah. So a lot of the reasons why you see people playing games is because you get a sense of control where in real life you don't have control over many things. You know, especially if you're coming from, like a low level, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. So having that champion, it wasn't just only for me, but it was for people to feel like they're champions too when they see me. So it was also an inspirational piece. So whenever you see HipHopGamer, like, people will always tell me that they wish they could bottle up my energy and have it in every morning for their life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That meant a lot to me because even though it was a joke, there was also truth to that joke. And the truth was, a lot of people, you don't know what everybody's going through, man. And everybody don't know everybody's story. So that's why I don't pass judgment on anything on things that I don't have the full 100% knowledge of. You know what I'm saying? If I know something at 100% scale, then I can make a fair judgment because I know everything that's tied to it. So when it's presented, I can speak on it. But if I don't know all the details, I can't give you 100% of everything because I don't know everything to give you 100% of. I can only give you what I know, and that's it. That belt, bro, it was a game changer because for a long time, a lot of people looked at it as like, oh, you doing too much, or he's this and that. And that's when I knew I was doing something right. Because there was one of those situations where a lot of people wanted to do the things that I was doing. Not just the belt thing, but just a lot of people had a fear of being who they were because the industry will make you feel like you got to be a certain way in order to be in it. Mm-hmm. So in my situation, I always wanted to be the leader of what I wanted to do. I always did things my way, bro. Always did things my way. And now that it's cool to do things your way and be independent, I endured what they couldn't endure. So everything that you see a lot of people doing now, they doing it because it's easy to do it. Because everybody else is doing it, so now it's easy for them to do it. I did it at a time where it wasn't cool to do it. And I'm the reason why it's cool now to do it. So there's a difference between me and everybody else. Remember, I told you, I'm a one of one. So I encourage everybody, find out what your one of one is. What's that thing that you do that only you do to the highest level, and continue to tap into that. So when people see you, they know why that, you know what, you have all these people, but when it comes to this person, that's the one. And when it comes to Hip Hop Gamer, aside from the belt and the chain and everything else, my energy and my passion and my love for what I do is unmatched. And one of the reasons why is because it stems from my grandma. And my grandmother gave me the game industry, and my grandmother gave me God. And because of that, I utilize, God, and I utilize gaming as my way of giving back to the world because of what my grandma gave me.
That's powerful, man. Dude.
Facts.
Bro, thank you for sharing that. And last question. I know we haven't really touched too much on, but man, you and music, you and hip hop, the bars, bro, talk about it. Like how?
Oh, thanks, man.
Like I know we've been talking about gaming the industry, putting people on game, but like, let's talk about some music, man. The last question I got with music: how imperative is it for you? Like how does it allow you to express yourself and navigate throughout the world, man? Let's talk.
Oh man, some music is that's air. You know what I'm saying? That's air, bro. Come on, man. That's another form of oxygen, bro. You serious? Come on, B. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in it, man. Why you think I named myself hip hop, son? Like this is joint the realest thing ever to me. You know what I mean? One of the reasons why I got into, like writing music and stuff like that, because my brother and my cousins and family like that, they had a rap group called HLC, Hard Living Criminals, right? So I was like, I want to be in. So I'm 14 years old, and junior high school, the junior high school that I went to, IS 292, East New York, Brooklyn, they had a showcase there, right? And the whole hood came out to the showcase, right? And they didn't know, like the hood didn't know that we rap, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So especially didn't know that I rap. So we had this song called Feel It Burn, and we did it over the instrumental of there's a song from Total, with when Puffy, it was Puffy, Biggie, 112, Total. Yeah. So there's this Dad, what was the name of the song? Dad, I can't remember the name of the song.
I know what you're talking about.
But oh man, I can't remember the name of the song. But the song that we did over that beat was called Feel It Burn. And that was back when we had these jeans, and these jeans, they was called Parasucos. And we had Parasuco jeans on. We was all matching. We had blue and red on. It was crazy. And I had the last verse. I closed the song. So I came out and I was like, yo, this and that. And the crowd, the energy, it was amazing. I was like, yo, man, like, I got to do this. So I just kept writing, kept getting better. And then I turned down record deals, though. Like it was because the music industry, once I started to like learn a little bit about it at an early age, it's dangerous, B. Like the music industry is dangerous. And though the path that I was walking on I wouldn't be here today if I would have followed that path. Now, looking back in hindsight, because I know how naive and gullible I was to the streets. Like, I was one of those dudes where, like, you say something wrong. Yeah, I was one of them. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't proud of it. I'm just telling you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real with you. And I was loose cannon type of person in a lot of the times. And one of the reasons why is because, you know, when I was younger, I never met my mother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know my mom's. So when I was like 2 years old, she had left, but I have no memory of anything ever meeting or knowing my mom. That affected me for a while. You know what I mean? When I was younger growing up, it affected me a lot. So, but, you know, anyway, fast forward, when it came to the music, when I got into, you know, gaming in terms of the industry side of it, there was this article that I saw on Assassin's Creed back in 2007. And I was like, yo, this dude is lying. Ain't no way. Like, I was calling him out on his joint. And when I called him out, that's how I got discovered, by calling him out, because he was the writer for my boy Torrance Davis, who gave me my shot to go to E3. So if I never would have called, think about this. If I never would have called out this writer, I never would have met Torrance, never would have went to E3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's simply because I called him out. So what happened is, I was supposed to be on a podcast, but I didn't get a chance to make it. But I listened to the podcast, and the dude was like, this dude calls himself HipHopGamer, but he doesn't even rap. And I was like, oh, that was the wrong thing to say. That was the wrong. I bet. So I wrote a diss verse for this dude, and people were like, yo, this is actually good. So then that's when people started to learn that I actually rap. I just didn't talk about it like that, but I actually, rap. And then now, songs and video games now, everything is different. The bars is here. Like I do this for real. So man, if there's anything y'all want to check out, I just dropped a song this year called Press Start. And check it out. Is definitely like New York energy, and the whole idea behind that song Press Start was literally that. It's time to go. It's time to make it happen. So the music side of me, I never really pushed it that hard, but that's gonna change because there's other things that's happening, and I want to shed a light on it more so on the music side. And y'all gonna see a lot from me this year. So let's go.
All right, man. I lied. I got one final question for you. Final one. The most important question: did you have fun today?
Yeah, bro. What? Come on, man, son. Yo, one thing you'll learn about me is I could be on any show. The show could normally be boring when you see other people on it. The show could not be good or whatever. But when I'm on that joint's fire. See, that's another thing I try to teach people, man. Yo, you ever went to a party and people be like, yo, this party is dead, this party is whack, like, or this party is this? And I'm like, well, if you're here and you're saying the party is dead, then you're part of the problem. So what you going to do about it? So I'm the kind of person to where I don't care what's going on. When I show up, it's fire. That's it. We lit. We having a good time. You know what I'm saying? So wherever I'm at, that joint is fire because I'm fire. Period. And honestly, even from a business standpoint, I encourage people to have that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what's going on, it could be dope. It could be amazing. It could be a Super Bowl performance. It could be whatever it is. But until they add you, it ain't what it could be. So I always look at myself as that missing ingredient to anything that could be at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? Just if you think this is the best it could go, add HipHopGamer, you see where it go. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at everything. You know what I'm saying? When I apply my energy to it, everything changes. It goes to the next level.
Facts, man. Facts.
Yeah,
anything you want to leave people with before we go?
Yo, man, I'm HipHopGamer. One love and God bless. Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all. If you want to find me, if you're new to me and who I am, you want to learn about me, Google me. Go to Google, type in HipHopGamer. and, you know, enjoy the journey. Cause, you know, I do this, man. Like this is my life, yo. I do this at the highest level. You ain't never seen it like this. So, my goal is to be a one of a kind. And hopefully I was able to give y'all something on today's show that could be valuable to y'all, you know, in y'all everyday life. And just follow me, man. You won't be disappointed. Let's get it.
Facts. And you guys can catch this episode along with every other podcast available on all podcasting outlets. So Google Play Music, Google Play is done. Anyway, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, literally everything. Amazon Music, you'll be able to catch a podcast there from my guest, the one and only HipHopGamer. The links for everything that he's working on will be down in the description below. Follow him, show him some love, man. Just for real, one of the most inspirational people in the industry, man. Inspired me to go on this path. And dude, God, I'm grateful to God for putting you in my life in that sense, man, because this has been one of the most liberating and fun, stressful, but fun journeys I have ever been on. It's like nothing like this. And, you know, man, thank you for being that inspiration, for real talk, though.
Nah, man, it's an honor and it's humbling to hear, man. And just by you saying that, continue to pay it forward, because just as people watch me, or just as you watch me, there's people out there watching you. So the same thing I was to you, be that for someone else. Keep paying it forward, keep showing that love. It'll come right back to you in abundance. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it.
Facts. And with that being said, people, this is HipHopGamer and myself. We're signing out. Y'all have a blessed one. God bless. Do something amazing today and do that. Keep that energy going every single day in your life. So with that being said, we sign out. Y'all have a great one. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope it was informative, engaging, and you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you go ahead and leave a rating and a review. It greatly helps out the podcast and helps the platforms that we're on go ahead and promote us more so that more people can check it out. And if you're wondering what all platforms we're on, aside from what you've listened to it on, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. And if you want to support the podcast, then we've got Patreon, so patreon.com/MikhailKasanova, which allows us to continue doing what we're doing. If you're looking for this in video format, we're also available on twitch.tv/MikhailKasanova, as well as youtube.com/MikhailKasanova. So with all that being said, I'll catch you on the next episode of Hawaii's #1 podcast and the #1 podcast in the Pacific, the Kasanova Podcast. You have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.